Hi, my name is Darylyn Jones. Today is December the 1st. What we're doing today is our lab for fermentation. We have our Phenol Red tubes here. So in these tubes we have our our Phenol Red broth, and they're all labeled. So I've already labeled this one as Epi, and then this one is 1 CeraVe. So we're going to put our samples into here. We have our broths, our active cultures, which have been sitting. This one is the 1 CeraVe and the S-Epi, okay? So right here we have our alcohol. We have our 6 Durham tubes sitting and soaking in our alcohol and our pipettes, okay? So right here we have mannitol, fructose, and glucose, okay? So to start this lab, what we're going to do is we're going to take the first phenol tube that's labeled 1 S-Epi, and we're going to pass it through the fire. So we're just going to pass the lip through, and we're going to actually do the same thing for all of the tubes, just using different agents in them. So we passed it through. We're going to take our glucose. We're going to open up our glucose, and we're going to transfer half of it to here. It's kind of hard to see exactly how much half is. Okay, so we transfer half to there. We're going to close that one up. We're going to go ahead and reflame it. Okay, and then we're going to put our top on it. We're going to shake this up until it dissolves. Okay, we're going to set that one aside. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take the 1 CeraVe, and we're going to do the same thing with this one. So we're going to take it and open it. We're going to flame it just to sterilize it. And then we're going to take the rest of our glucose and we're going to put it into here. That's the second half of the glucose. Okay. So that one is done. We're going to go ahead and reflame it. Run it through the flame. And then we're going to add the cap to it. Okay. We're going to shake it up. And we're going to wait until it dissolves. We're going to set those to the side. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing with the glucose, the mannitol, and the fructose and the mannitol. So this one is labeled 2 S-Epi. Pass it through the flame. We're going to put the fructose in this one. So we're just going to take half of our fructose and transfer it into the vial. And like I stated before, it's a little hard to see what half is. Okay. So then we're going to take this one, flame it again. And we're going to put our top on it. And as you can see, the fructose is right there on the side of the vial. So that's why we're going to shake it up so that we can make sure that we get it down and it dissolves. Okay? So we'll set that one to the side. So we're going to take the second number 2 vial, and we're going to do the same exact thing. Flame it. Pour the rest of our fructose in here. Ooh, that's just sugar. Okay. Flame it again. Our top. shake it up. That's it. Okay, so 3 CeraVe flame. Okay. And then we're going to put our mannitol in here. So the whole point of this experiment is for it to ferment, for us to see if there's gas or acid or both in our fermentation. Okay, so we have it in there. Pass it through the flame. Go ahead and close that one up. Shake so it dissolves. And then this is going to be our last tube that we're going to do like that with the mannitol. Then what we're going to do is we're going to actually, I believe we're going to drop our Durham tubes in there first, and then we're going to add our active broth to it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to let them incubate in our incubation spot for 12 hours. If no results after 12 hours, we'll let them sit for another 6 hours, but no longer than 24 hours. If they sit longer than 24 hours in the incubation spot, then we can have false results. Okay, so we did that one. Shake it up. Okay, so now that we've done all 3 of our tubes, we're going to remove the Durham tubes from the alcohol, and we're going to dry them thoroughly. And then we're going to drop those down into our Phenol Red. Okay, so I'm going to blow out our candle because I don't want to drip alcohol on it. Alcohol in heat is flammable. Okay, so here's my Durham tube. Just gonna kind of shake it to dry it. Okay. It should dry fairly quickly. So our little Durham tubes. So the first one I'm gonna drop it into is number 1, which is the 1SFE. Okay. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna drop it in upside down. So this is the opening. So I'm going to drop it in this way so that the opening is on the bottom. Okay, so it's in there. Now what I'm going to do, in order to get the air, I know you can see that it kind of is floating. So in order to get the air out, I'm just going to invert it. So what we're trying to do is, okay, as we invert it, more liquid actually goes into our tube, and then it should start to sink instead of float. Okay, so it's not working, so we're going to try it again. Basically what we're trying to do is get that bubble that's in there out. Okay. So our bubble is not wanting to leave, which is kind of funny and kind of odd. So, okay, it's a little better. So we'll let that one sit there for a second and we'll try again shortly. Okay. So we're going to grab another one. No alcohol in it. Shake it to dry it. We're going to shake it to dry it. So as you can see, I'm holding my cap in my hand because I don't want to sit it down because then it makes it not sterile anymore. Okay. So all of it is out. So we're going to try this on a different way. We're going to slide it in that way. Okay. That worked out a little bit better for us. Okay. So it's all the way in there. And then we're just going to invert it again. All right. See how our phenol tube is in there? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do that for all of the rest of them. But what we're going to do before we do that to all of the rest of them, we're going to actually go ahead and inoculate these two. And so what we're going to do is we're going to remove our pipette. We're going to run our active broth through the fire. And then we're going to inoculate these two. Okay. So, and we're just doing it this way in the interest of time for our video. So we have this one and it's labeled S-CeraVe, and this one is labeled S-Epi. Okay. So here is our S-Epi. So we're going to take it, run it through the fire. Take our S-Epi, run it through the fire. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at it just to make sure that we have the correct names of the tubes. Always double and triple check. Okay. So now I'm going to remove my pipette. Okay. I'm going to shake it dry. It's just a little bit of alcohol, so it's not going to hurt anything. And I'm going to put my pipette into the S-Epi, and we're going to remove about 4 drops. Okay. And then we're going to put those 4 drops in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this pipette and we're going to put in our undiluted bleach. Okay. It's 100% bleach. We're going to go ahead and close back up our S-Epi by running it through the fire first to make it sterile. We're going to close it up. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for our phenol broth. Okay. And then we're going to close it up. So now this one right here is actually inoculated. So then we're going to go ahead and take this one, which is the S-CeraVe, and we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to run them through the fire, and then we're going to inoculate it. Okay. Then what we're going to do with these is we're going to put them in our incubation spot in our home, and they're going to sit there for 12 hours. We will check on them after the 12 hours just to see if we have any results yet. If no results after 12 hours, then we'll go ahead and we will put them back for another 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then we're going to take this one and put it into our undiluted bleach. We're going to go ahead and close these back up. Okay. Close them back up and let them sit. Okay, so when we come back after 12 hours, we will have our results of our test. So I'll go ahead and put these in our incubation spot. I'll finish up the rest and we'll be back in 12 hours. Thank you for watching.